Riala could barely believe her eyes. Just last week, she had been struggling with the crushing loneliness of everyone fearing her poison, but now she had hired a human assistant who not only could help her with customers, but was also completely immune to her deadly secretions. This made their working environment exceptionally enjoyable, freeing her from the constant anxiety of accidentally killing him with a careless touch. She called over to Kyle.
Could you sort those vials by color? I know you can't read Galactic Standard yet, but the color coding should be simple enough.
She was already planning that. As soon as he finished, she would teach him how to contact her clan for the weekly sales reports.
Already on it, boss.
Kyle replied, from where he stood on a small stepladder, carefully organizing the shelves.
Almost done with this section.
Riala marveled at what an excellent employee he had turned out to be. He could handle customers without any problems, cleaned the store thoroughly without being asked, and wasn't even afraid to feed Burrow, the massive store guardian, by the entrance that most beings were terrified to approach. As she waited for him to finish, she caught sight of herself in the mirror and paused. Her green face looked back at her, framed by the numerous tentacles that cascaded from her head like Medusa's locks, each tip glistening with the poison that had isolated her for so long. But for the first time in years, she wasn't spending every single day alone in the store anymore. She found herself smiling, a genuine expression of happiness that felt foreign after so much solitude. Kyle interrupted her thoughts with a gentle hand on her shoulder, showing not a care in the world about her wet tentacles brushing against him.
I'm done with the vials, boss,
he said with his characteristic smile.
Ready to learn about that sales report to your clan?
Did you take notes of every sale this week in human script, like I asked?
She inquired.
I did,
he confirmed, pulling out a small notebook filled with his careful handwriting. Riala beamed and walked to the counter where she produced a transparent data pad, holding it tightly.
Come closer,
she instructed him.
I'm going to introduce you to the matriarch as my new employee. Try to be professional.
Kyle did as she asked, moving to stand beside her.
When have I not been professional?
He asked with mock innocence. She could think of several instances, his constant jokes, and perhaps slightly too personal touches, but she wouldn't mention them since she genuinely enjoyed how casual and comfortable his presence felt. Instead, she simply activated the communication device and called the matriarch, completely forgetting to warn Kyle about the critical importance of not mentioning that last week he had tasted her poison and survived it. The expensive FTL call began connecting, the screen blinking before stabilizing to reveal a figure not that different from Riala, except for the unmistakable signs of age and authority that marked her as an elder. Riala felt her usual nervousness in the presence of the matriarch, straightening her posture as she offered a respectful greeting.
Honored matriarch, thank you for accepting my call.
Remembering how valuable the elder's time was, she quickly moved to business.
I wanted to inform you that I have finally managed to hire someone to help me at the Pavilion of Vials. We are no longer understaffed.
The matriarch's gaze moved from the papers on her desk to Kyle through the screen.
A human,
he observed, then nodded approvingly.
That makes sense. They're one of the few species we usually hire in our pharmacies, one of the few that don't fear our form.
She smiled warmly at Riala.
Congratulations on finding suitable help, child. Please introduce yourself, young human.
Thank you for the opportunity to meet you, honored matriarch,
Kyle said, offering a respectful bow that made Riala beam with pride.
I'm Kyle, and I'm grateful to work alongside Riala at the Pavilion of Vials.
How did you two meet?
The matriarch inquired casually. Riala's heart froze. Before she could end the call or hint to Kyle that there were certain things that shouldn't be mentioned, he was already speaking.
We met by chance when I was asking for information.
Kyle explained cheerfully.
Riala challenged me to survive her poison, and after that, we became friends.
Riala watched in horror as the matriarch's eyes widened dramatically.
It was an accident.
She quickly tried to explain.
I just wanted to get rid of him at the time. It doesn't mean anything that he survived my poison.
Kyle looked utterly confused.
What's going on?
The matriarch stared at him, then at Riala, and said with disappointment,
You conducted this challenge and didn't even explain to him what it means for us. How careless and disrespectful to your own culture.
Kyle was panicking now, turning to Riala, who had lowered her head in shame.
What's going on?
He demanded again. When her voice failed her, he turned directly to the screen.
Please, matriarch, what does this mean?
A male that survives a drop of poison from a female must marry her in our species.
She explained.
It's an ancient ritual, both a biological test for the fitness of the male and a cultural trial that has existed for millennia, since before we even figured out agriculture. Survive one drop, marriage.
Kyle began panicking, and before Riala could intervene, he made things infinitely worse.
But I didn't drink just one drop. I drank a whole cup, and the ritual doesn't count because we're from different species, right?
The matriarch's eyes widened to an almost impossible degree, and Riala felt her world crashing down around her. In desperation, she blurted out,
My credits for FTL are running thin. I have to politely hung up.
and abruptly ended the call, leaving only Kyle and herself to deal with the suffocating awkwardness. A long moment of silence passed between them, the distant noises of the street becoming unnaturally loud in the oppressive quiet of the store. A minute passed, and Riala finally found the words to break the tension.
I'm so sorry, Kyle. This is all my fault. I should never have challenged you to drink my poison in the first place.
Kyle remained utterly speechless for a while, then finally managed to ask.
What's going to happen to me now?
His voice held a hint of worry.
Please don't fire me. I need this job to pay for the repairs on our ship.
She thought for a moment, then said carefully,
I'll report to the matriarch that this conversation scared you away, and you can keep your job. The clan only inspects the store once a year, so by then you might have already left this planet.
She placed a gentle hand on his neck, her tentacles brushing against his skin without concern.
Everything will be fine. No one will force us to marry.
Kyle sighed in visible relief, then managed a weak joke.
Next time, you need to tell me more about your species' culture before asking for my hand in marriage.
Riala agreed with a small laugh, but her mind was filled with conflicting emotions, worry about whether things would really be fine, and a dangerous hint of satisfaction at the casual way he had jokingly accepted the possibility.
Thank you for watching the 11th chapter of the Finder series. You can find the playlist with the previous videos in the video description. You can also like the video and subscribe to increase your chances of being notified whenever we post a new one.